Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
good.
I'll tell her. I'm sure she'll. Yeah, remember.
All right, everybody, looks like we're on board here. As the president last year, I'll call this meeting to order. Welcome to the Library Board meeting, New Ulm, Minnesota. It's Thursday, January 9th, 2025. We're in the City Hall Council chambers. And the first thing we always have to do is approve the agenda. And so I will take a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments about the agenda? I have, just so that you know, I've asked without objection, we're going to introduce the library board members, and then we'll have our guest speaker, Leroy, speak. No objection? All right. All right. All in favor of the agenda with those little things shuffled around, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we have an agenda. And now, April, can you introduce our two new library members?
Sure. We have Caitlin Houlihan and Nancy Byrne on our library board. They're joining us for their first term each this year. So welcome, Nancy, and welcome, Caitlin. Thank you very much for being on our library board.
Good, thank you.
Welcome.
And we'll find out all about you as we go along, right? Good, wonderful. And now, with that, we'll move on to Talk of the Town. Programming and Technology Services, librarian Leroy Harris.
Well, thanks for letting me join you this evening. Earlier this fall, I was approached by New Cat and State Street Theater. They had an idea for a new show to do that was inspired by a public access television show that was coming out of the East Coast and was aired on their public television there. And they said, this looks like a really neat idea. New Ulm has lots of great stories. We could do something like this. And so they approached me and asked if I would be the narrator for the show. And we sat down and started planning what kind of quirky historical episodes that we could highlight and reenact using State Street actors with historical consultation from the Brown County Historical Society to make sure that we weren't doing anything that was too far outside artistic license, you know. The result of that is the new show, Tales of the Town. And the first episode premiered on YouTube last month, yes? Yeah, early last month. And we're working on production of the second episode and getting ready to, we've got the script pretty much down. We're getting ready for filming, scheduling, and whatnot. Okay, does this have?
It should be ready to go if you hit play. I think Andre's got it all ready to.
Okay.
So it's Tales of the Town. I said Talk of the Town like the New Yorker magazine, but it's Tales of the Town. Sorry.
This does not have the screen up.
Maybe use the one over your shoulder.
We could probably hit. Yeah, there you go. It's up there now.
Oh, up there. Well, that's exciting. Okay.
Welcome to Tales of the Town. On this episode, we're going to regale you with the story of art, lost and then found. It was in the warm summer of 1999, and Carol Elijah was having a drink in Minnesota's oldest bar. He was talking with some friends who told him an interesting story. You see, more than a century earlier, back in 1873, a touring theater troupe had taken up residence at the Turner Hall Theater, including the well-known German-born actress Marie Methua Scheller. As it happened, Marie's husband, Guido, was a painter, and he'd look for odd jobs around the towns where his wife was performing. He'd offer to paint murals of the Bavarian countryside and Bavarian castles. Well, the Turnverein took him up on his offer, and during the 3 months that the troupe stayed at Turner Hall, he painted a beautiful mural across the Rathskellers walls. Carol looked around at the dark and dingy walls and thought, could it be possible? Is there really a beautiful mural hidden beneath this plain paint? Being an amateur restorer, he wondered, why was it covered in the first place? You see, after they were completed, the murals quickly became a source of comfort and pride for the town's many German residents, at least until July 25th, 1917. A large anti-draft rally was held, including a parade, music, and a gathering at Turner Hall. Compelling speakers spoke out against the justice of the war and government authority to send draftees overseas into combat. Speakers included Dr. Louis Fritchie, the city's mayor, as well as the city's attorney, Albert Fender. Adolf Ackerman, the president of Martin Luther College, also spoke, as did Albert Steinhauser, an Army veteran and lawyer. All of them had opposed the United States' involvement in the Great War. The war had aroused intense anti-German feelings, and residents of New Ulm understandably were very hesitant about the idea of being forced to fight their own kin. Well, not many weeks after the rally, the leaders of the town were removed from office for promoting and participating in seditious public meetings. With the stroke of a pen, Governor J.A.A. Burnquist removed the mayor and other officials from office. The murals were eventually covered over, although the exact date of when and why still remains somewhat mysterious. Perhaps it was water damage, or perhaps it was for political reasons, or perhaps even just simply part of a remodel design. Regardless, an important historical artifact now lay hidden underneath these seemingly drab walls. Carol, saddened by what he saw as an unnecessary loss of community identity, thought that something had to be done. So he asked for permission to use his experience restoring his old home to see if he might uncover the murals. Carol and his son got to work, painstakingly removing the paint from the murals. But they didn't use chemicals or solvents. Instead, they used thousands and thousands of rolls of duct tape. Carol's story, like so many others, is part of what makes New Ulm a unique place. Make sure you join us next time on Tales of the Town.
Bravo! Bravo! Excellent! Excellent! Thank you, Leroy. Thank you. That was wonderful. Gosh.
Yeah, we're excited for it.
Oh, yeah, no, that was great. And then April said you're also going to tell us about the adult programming as long as you're there?
Adult winter reading program.
Oh, adult
Yeah.
reading program.
So just as a final thought with the Tales of the Town, so it was released last month and we already have over 250 views. And so that's wonderful. And one of the other things that NewCat has been doing has been creating YouTube Shorts with a lot of the videos that we partner on. And that generates even more viewership and brings more people in. And we see that reflected in our monthly statistics as well. So that's good.
Leroy, do you have a goal number of episodes for Tales of the Town?
A goal number, we have ideas storyboarded for at least 6 that I know of. And so we're hoping to maybe do at least double that. So, but yeah. But so it is January, and each year we put together a winter reading program for adults. Kids get the summer, we get the winter, and it lasts through the end of February. And as part of our winter reading program each year, we try to do a theme, either a wintry artistic theme or something more mechanics related to how we're helping people to track their reading through the program. In past years, we've done things like bingo or a Monopoly style board, things like that as people read and getting to fill in spaces. Last year, we tried a bit of an experiment and did a kind of painting by numbers based on the genre of books that you read. This year's a bit more straightforward. We're just trying to stay warm. And so you just have a thermometer on your tracking sheet. And as you read books, you get to fill in the thermometer and raise the temperature. One of the things that we do each year is after reading usually 4 or 5 books, depending on how we've got it structured, participants get to choose a free book book from our prize shelf that I have separated out and keep down in storage most of the year. Those come from generous donations from the public that bring in. We try to keep new titles or popular authors in that section separate from our regular book sale items. And then as they input, as they continue reading and fill out their tracking sheet, they get to put in name slips into our prize drawing for the end of the program. We're very grateful to the Friends of the Library for sponsoring those prizes. And so this year, we're going to be having 10 different prizes. In previous years, we've usually averaged about 3 to 5. And so we're expanding it because we like motivating people. And in fact, I did see after we posted about the program on Facebook, we actually got a comment on the post that said, "This is just the kind of motivation I need to start reading. I love prize incentives." So it's working. But we're excited. So that started on Monday, and people can register at any time between now and the end of February, and just read, come into the circulation desk and show your progress of the books that you've read. And then after the program finishes in February, you have a couple weeks to turn in your tracking sheet still, and then we do the drawing about mid-March. So.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Any questions of Leroy?
I just want to commend Leroy on the great
Yes.
job that he does with our programming.
Oh, absolutely.
He offers a wide variety of programs and to a lot of different patrons. So thank you
Great.
for your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And now we'll turn it over to April because we've got to elect officers. We need a president, a vice president, and a secretary treasurer.
I spoke with Ruth Ann and Dustin, who Ruth Ann's our current president and Dustin's our current secretary and treasurer, and both are willing to continue on in those positions if they are nominated. And I spoke with a couple board members about possibly taking the vice president position. Our vice president, Vince, has fulfilled his terms on the board, so he wouldn't be able to continue on. So if anyone is interested, please speak up. Those that I spoke with were reluctant but willing if they needed to.
Well, this is, presiding over these meetings is fun and easy, and you get a gavel. So I don't know why anyone would possibly say no. I don't know how anybody would say no.
And the main duty is to fill in when Ruth Ann
Right,
is
if
not
I'm
able to
gone.
attend.
If I'm gone. Other than that, everybody, come on, speak up.
Don't look at me.
Oh, come on.
Sure.
Oh, yay! Bravo! Bravo!
She said reluctantly.
All right.
I think that I don't know if you need to go through the nomination process or if someone can just make a motion for those.
I think someone could make a
Individuals.
motion to have the secretary cast a unanimous ballot for the slate of candidates presented. Ruth Ann Webster for president, Lynn Hanley for vice president, and Dustin for secretary treasurer. And since I'm not the president yet, I'm going to I move that. I'll move that.
Second.
Do we have a second? All right. Well, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign? All right, we're on the boards. We're on the boards, yay. And I promise not to be gone very often, Yeah, right. And then, moving on, we've got other little positions to fill. We've got the Brown County Library Board representative, and Yvonne is the current representative, and Manon is the alternate. And those are one-year terms. And are you two willing to continue on with that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that's, as the newly elected
gone,
president,
so.
I'll just appoint you. All right.
It's never gone.
And now the Traverse des Sioux Regional Library Board representative. April, would you talk about this? Because Carl was the only one who ever did that.
Yes.
Okay.
So Carl was our previous representative, and the representative from Brown County should serve on a library board or be a county commissioner. That's how that's structured for TDS. I have spoken with the other library directors to ask them to recruit a representative from their libraries, and they have not had any takers. So I'm just asking this board if anyone here would be interested in serving. The Traverse des Sioux Regional Library, of which we are a member, meets once a month, usually at their offices in Mankato. And so they are talking about things that pertain to the whole 9-county region that they serve. So that's budget, policies for Traverse des Sioux, or TDS as they're commonly called, staffing concerns, those kind of things is what that board is looking at. It's a fun group. I currently serve as the alternate and would be willing to, attend with you sometimes if you'd like to carpool or have questions about getting up to speed with it.
So it's a 1-year term, though.
I believe it's 3 years.
It's a 3-year term. So anyone interested in going to Mankato once a month? Is there a possibility of a zooming in or not?
They do have to follow the open meeting laws.
Oh,
so
I
there's
see.
a process for
Right,
being
right.
able to attend by Zoom. It is possible, but I'm not sure if it's something that can happen every month.
Right. Anybody willing to do that?
And it's not necessarily something that this board has to commit to today. It's just,
Okay.
I'm bringing it to your attention because there's not been someone else from Brown County who has
All right.
stepped up.
Well, and any of the commissioners interested?
We haven't had luck with that in the past, but I can certainly go that track if we aren't finding anyone.
And I'm just thinking of the 5 county commissioners. Well, we'll pick this up again next, and I appreciate the fact that you're the alternate.
And I'm the alternate for public libraries. So
Oh.
each type of library that TDS serves has a representative.
Okay.
So I'm the alternate for public libraries, and then there are also representatives for academic libraries, which is higher education,
Okay.
and school libraries, which is K through 12, and then also special libraries, which would be like your historical
Oh, I see.
societies.
I see. So you're filling another slot. You're not filling the slot for Brown County.
No, I'm
Okay.
representing member libraries.
Okay.
I would be willing to hear more about it, but before I fully commit, I tell myself I have to think about something before,
Yeah.
before I accidentally commit.
I think you should take April out for coffee.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin. All right, we'll pick that up next month. All right. Now, approval of the minutes from the December meeting. We have that in our packet. Anyone have any corrections or comments about that? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
I'll move.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we have minutes, and now let's go on to the financial report.
The financial report is a little lengthy this month, just doing some end of year wrap up. So we are 100% through 2024, and our budget is approximately 100.95% expended. Some of the bills that we paid during December included $496 to Full Service Electric to replace a light motion sensor in our fiction area, and we also relocated a thermostat that we were noticing being adjusted quite frequently, and so we put it more in staff eyesight. Then we also paid $460 to Hilliard for general cleaning supplies, $5,060 to Ingram for books and audiobooks. Those are our CD audiobooks. And then $567 to Class and Mechanical for air filters, and $753 to the Star Tribune for an annual subscription. That increases about $50 per year for the last several years. Then we also paid $6,064 to Traverse des Sioux for replacements for our 12 Chromebox public computer stations and the 4 Chromebook public catalog stations. A Chromebox is would be comparable to a PC, and the Chromebooks are like laptop form. And then we also paid CTS $13,940 for the remaining balance of the security camera project, and that project came in matching their quote. And then I won't read through all of the notes I put at the lower part of the page, but I just wanted to note that a number of the projects that are causing the budget to currently appear overspent were ones that the board had approved to use from fund balance. So those projects are listed there and in the packet, and they total $67,439. And then we also used grants and honorariums to offset a number of expenses during 2024. Those don't go right into the line that they're matching, so it's not as easy to see those on the reporting. But those grants were totaling $16,212, including a grant that we received in 2023 from the Public Library Association that we finished spending this year. So when you include those grants, our budget is approximately 99% expended. And when you include the grants and exclude the fund balance expenditures, we're approximately 93% expended.
Good work. I could always count on Vince to have some question about the budget, but he's not here, so. Basically, this is the end of the year. We're starting all over. And some of those line item things have been sort of, I'll just say fixed, that
Yes.
you're always making the explanation that it looks like this, but it's not that because.
Yeah, so like for instance, we spent money from the Mellon Foundation grant that we received, which is a $250,000 grant. And those expenditures are reflected in the library technology grant and library technology equipment grant lines. But we didn't budget anything for those lines, so it's hard to see how they're offset there. And then I just wanted to note that the audiovisual supplies line is underspent by about $2,500. And that's because we are increasingly finding it harder to find audiobooks on CD and DVDs to purchase. More things are on streaming, more things are in digital formats only, so that's something that we continue to struggle with. So that was a line that we had decreased from $9,000 to $7,500 for 2025, just expecting that that's going to continue to be a challenge.
Okay. All right. Okay, any questions, comments? Otherwise, we'll move on to the Library Department Activities Report and the statistics for December.
So library aide Nita Gilbert submitted her resignation. Her last day with the library will be January 15th. So we wish her well. She's worked at the library, I think, maybe 7.5 years now. We do have one new library aide starting January 22nd, and we're waiting to hear back from a second candidate on an offer. So we were able to, the way the timing lined up, we were able to offer 2 candidates we had already interviewed in this last round. So that was a time saver for us. So that's good.
And just for the new members, those things, you're assisted by the HR of this, from the city.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
so.
The 2 trees that were damaged in September in the library book drop area were removed in December. One of our activities in the strategic plan is to look at our outdoor spaces and determine how we can improve those. And so we'll include that book drop area as part of that assessment. It does look very bare compared to what was there before. The vendor has ordered the replacement doors for the book drop entrance, so installation will be scheduled once all those materials have arrived. The door installation materials and work will be coming from the city's 290 fund, so that won't have an effect on the library budget, which is their fund for capital improvements. But we are asking that they include as part of the work the ability for us to electrify those doors so we can use key fob access similar to other City Hall buildings, and so that would come from the library's budget. The city IT director is working with the vendors that have helped with those kind of projects in the past to get quotes, so I'm hoping that I can bring those to the February meeting if the timing lines up with those. And then I did add the library's policies to the library website. There's been some questions the last few times you have approved updates, and so I just wanted to make those more widely available. So if you if you visit our website at www.newulmlibrary.org and choose About Us, then you can choose library policies.
Okay.
And there's links to all of our policies as PDF forms there. And then just a note that we are closed on Monday, January 20th for Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Good.
And then I can talk about some of the stats if that's all right.
Okay.
We had a New Year's Eve celebration on December 31st, and that went really well. New Ulm Park and Recreation hosted that at the Civic Center on the ice rink there. So they had open skate and photo booths and refreshments, and then a ball drop at noon. And the Optimist Club of New Ulm sponsored the activities and food there. So that was, thank you to both of them for partnering and sponsoring. They had 220 attendees.
Oh, wow.
They had people on the ice before they even officially started at 11, so people were excited for that. And then I did something a little bit different in the, with the graphs that I normally put in the packet. I put a comparison of year over year, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of those. We had an increase of 5% in our door count, an increase of 3.3% in our physical circulation, and an increase of 17.4% in our Libby circulation, which continues to be the statistic that is growing the most quickly. And we also had an increase of 7.9% in public computer sessions. I still think that we're building back after a loss of visits during the pandemic. These numbers still are not up to where we were pre-pandemic, and I think people's habits have changed, and I think part of what you're seeing in Libby is some of that, and also TDS, our regional library, who we share the consortium with for our Libby collection, member libraries and the TDS as an entity have done a push to make more available in Libby, so I think our super users have more to check out too, so that's driving those increases as well. The 2023 wireless stats were messy. We had an outage in those that we couldn't recover that data, so I didn't compare those two because it's just not useful at this point. But our 2022 total wireless clients were 54,280. So total 2024 was 60,806, so that would be an increase of 12% over those 2 years roughly. And then our website page views are down. That could be due to a change in reporting. They've started using a Google reporter for that, and I get that information from city staff. And I think that the old reporter, it wasn't clear which calendar pages were the libraries and which weren't the libraries, and so I was including all calendar clicks in my stats before, and now I can see which ones are actually ours versus which ones are Parks and Recs. Park and Rec. So I would assume that accounts for quite a bit of the change there.
Okay. There's a lot to take in. You're busy.
Yes,
You know, you're busy. There's a lot going on at the library.
Good job.
Yes. Any other comments besides a big thank you, April, for pulling this all together?
Yes.
You'll see more of a comprehensive view when I present the annual report to you.
Okay.
We're required to submit a report of our statistics and finances to the state each year. That's usually March and April that you'll be seeing that information.
Right. Good. Okay. All right, should we move on to the January programming calendar?
Yes. We are excited. We have 2 comedians visiting us on Saturday, January 18th at 1:30 p.m. They'll be performing a live set at the State Street Theater, and I just want to thank the Friends of the Library for sponsoring the show. I think that's something we've tried before, and we're excited to try it again and continue some of those bigger programs like that. And then we have Minnesota author Jason Lee Willis presenting about French fur trader and explorer Pierre Charles Lesueur and his journeys in North America and Minnesota, and that's on Thursday, January 23rd at 6:30 p.m. at the library. And then we are offering a no-school movie afternoon on Friday, January 17th at 2 p.m. We're going to watch the 1951 Disney classic Alice in Wonderland. The movie's rated G and has a 75-minute running time for any who are concerned. And those movie screenings at the library are free and open to the public thanks to support from the Optimist Club of
Oh,
New
yes.
Ulm. They support our movie license each year.
Any questions? A lot of fun. Have you had this author before?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I think it's been maybe a couple of years since he's come.
Right. And did he do Nicolay as well?
That sounds right.
Yes, right. He's working his way through the French traders.
Yes.
Right. Good. Good.
That was a fun presentation, so. And I'll just say, the variety of the activities that the library puts on every month, both for the youth and the adult, it just is amazing every month, so thank you.
That's due to the hard work of Leroy, who you saw today, and then Catherine Tatnall, our youth services librarian. Big thanks to them.
There isn't a blank day. No, almost.
Unless
Oh,
they're
it's a-
closed.
Unless they're closed. Unless they're closed. All right. All right. Well, we're going to move on to our resolution, and this again for the new members. It has always amazed me how much support our community gives to the library. So we have resolution number 2025-01. Very good. We will read this out and then we'll adopt it. And the list below describes the donations received by the library in the last quarter of 2024. And this includes general donations and memorials. So the first is the New Ulm Public Library staff, in memory of Sue Hunstead, donated $60, and that it's undesignated. Then Paul and Pam Pankert, in memory of Cindy Hillesheim, donated $10 for children's books. Wallace and Jean Wellman, in memory of Viola Schaefer, donated $25, undesignated. Gabrielle Savi donated $60 for adult programs. The roll, what is that? The roll one?
20. It's a program that our Pathfinder group uses, and that's a role-playing game, kind of akin to Dungeons and Dragons. But this is a tool that allows them to save information about their game, and some of them meet virtually, so they can use it to roll the dice that they use for the game and things like that. So
that's
he
lovely.
donated to facilitate an expanded subscription, which allows them more data storage and
Good.
better features.
Good, thank you. And Nuvera Communications, in memory of Jim Krismarzik, donated $50, undesignated. There was an anonymous donation from the money in the donation box, $40. Thank you, Anonymous. Dohmeyer's German Store donated $300. And $300 once, and $150 for designated children's programs for the cookie bags.
And they do actually put together the cookie bags.
Oh,
for
my
us and
goodness.
donated the
Oh,
physical item.
Oh, good for them. Sue Otto donated $100 for adult books, specifically nonfiction books. Sylvia Ofterheide donated $1,000 for adult books. And another anonymous donation, $18.50. Good work. Good work. So that's total cash donations are $1,663.50. And then the physical donation is that roll thing, right? The $150?
It's the cookie bags.
Oh, it's the cookie bags. Oh, God. Okay, for a total of $1,613.50. And the library board accepts these donations with gratitude to the donors. So I need someone to offer the resolution to, with gratitude, accept these donations.
So moved.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Any comments or questions? Otherwise, Secretary Dustin, can you call the roll?
Sarah,
Yes.
Dustin, yes. Caitlin,
Yes.
Ruth Ann,
Yes.
Yvonne,
Yes.
Manon,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes.
All right. All right. Next resolution, I'm trying to open it up. Please. Am I goofing this up completely? All right. This will be shorter. Thank you, Yvonne. All right. This is Resolution 2025-02. Authorizing disposal of surplus items. And we have,
If it's easier, Ruth Ann, I can read the
oh, would you
resolution.
read it for me? I apparently pressed, see, this is the worst part about being the president, screwing things up, you know. All right. Yes, please read it for me.
The library director recommends that the following items be designated surplus and be disposed of or sold through the city's surplus process. Number 1, a 2-tiered bookshelving cart. The cart has been repaired on several occasions and is no longer reliable or safe. Number 2, the Frigidaire Compact 30 oven. The oven functions but has not been used in at least 7 years. The library director anticipates no future use for the oven, and the library's meeting room policy prohibits cooking in the meeting room. And then there are pictures of both of the items.
Goodbye. Good riddance.
The script on the Frigidaire oven looks like it could be maybe from the 70s when the library was built.
Okay. All right, I will accept a motion.
I'll move.
All right, and a second?
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Anybody want the Frigidaire? No, okay, I guess not.
Looking at these pictures, there is nothing extravagant about having these disposed of.
Dustin, why don't you call the roll?
Sarah,
Yes.
Dustin, yes. Caitlin,
Yes.
Ruth Ann,
Yes.
Yvonne,
Yes.
Manon,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes.
Great.
I just would note that our plans for that space in the meeting room are storage.
Right.
With our new meeting room policy that no longer charges rental fees, that was approved by the library board at the end of last year, we are kind of updating the process for how we check people in and what supplies are available to them downstairs. So I'd like to just put a cabinet in that corner for some of
right.
those supplies.
Right, good.
Good idea.
Well, that was other business. Any other business? Any other business? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
No, this is not a debatable motion. So all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Done. The first one's in the bag.